So hello everyone, this is AetherNightmare and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. So I have decided to jump ahead and do Scholar because I keep feeling like I'm underperforming in dungeons and I like to play this class a lot in my free time. So we are going to give it a little bit of focus today. So the Green Death. Oh, are we finally going to learn about that? I've seen some in some 1.0 lore videos about the Green Death. That was the plague that turned people into tomberries, they implied. In the last Scholar quest. So let's go up to the Marauders. Don't mind me, I'm just checking sync between my screens. The Green Death. Alka Zolka's face is the picture of excitement. You have some timing, Bren. Would you believe that I meant to send for you at this very bell? Srito Karito has summoned us both by name. His missive was unclear as to why he needs us, but when a living scholar calls, we can scarce dismiss him. Just imagine the sorts of things we might learn from him. The military tactics, the Nimian secrets. Come, my friend, let us make for the shores of Bronze Lake, where Surito Carillo and untold knowledge await. Away we go, then. I have my fairy out, right? No, I don't. Note to self. Summon fairy while actually still in the class. It helps. This just in, playing your class correctly? More likely than you think to help you get through the content. You're the little Tonberry from before. The little Scholar Tonberry. Who used to be a, oh gosh, what are they called? Not Tartars. Lalafels. Thank you for coming. I hope the journey was not too taxing. Not at all. Both Bren and I are ready and willing to help. But pray tell, why have you summoned us? Allow me to start at the beginning. After Lily freed my heart, I returned to my people. For the first time in an age, I was myself. And I was not alone for long. Many of my kin regained their sanity once the palace was freed from the Tonberry King's menace. Though our minds were of our own, our forms remained monstrous, and we dared not venture outside. Yet within our halls, we were content with our own company and the quiet life. But it did not last. One by one, we began to grow ill again, and then grotesque. The sickness that transformed us into Tonberries has returned. What? Are you certain? Beyond all doubt. 1,500 years passed. Powerful magics were used to seal us in the palace alongside the sickness. Yet even those could not withstand the calamity. As we arose from our long slumber, the sickness awoke within us. As a scholar, I must see my people restored in mind and body both. But finding a cure will take many moons, perhaps even years. And that is time they do not have. Yet I presume you will not stand idle with their condition worsens. This is why you summoned us, is it not? Just so. I plan to seal the worst afflicted within a section of the palace. There they will slumber once more. This itself is no cure, but it will afford me time I so desperately need to find a permanent solution. Now, as for the seal itself, an enchantment of this nature is not unlike a net. It is anchored at several points, and if not laid down in perfect balance, the magics will falter. In order to accomplish this balance, my people created keystones to focus and disperse aether. So it's the keystones that I have need of, but I dare not seek them out myself for fear of being hunted. Then we will go gather them in your stead. It is we, is it not, Bren? Thank you both. The original enchantment encircled this lake, and 2 of the keystones should be somewhere along the banks. If you search the shores, I've no doubt you'll find them. Yeah, because this used to be, like, a whole kingdom, and then I guess there was a great flood, and this is what's left of it. Most of it got submerged. You have my thanks for taking up the search for the keystones, my friend. Search for the outer keystone in Lenosha. Up here. Because all of the great calamities usually have an element assigned to them. Pretty sure that great calamity was perhaps water. I'm guessing? Trying to go off memory here. But since I haven't played 1.0, and because you can't play 1.0, my knowledge is limited to secondhand that people gave in nondescript detail as to avoid spoilers. As you reach to pick up the keystone, you hear the crack and rumble of rock upon rock. The hair raises on the nape of your neck, and you turn to see a guardian of Eld awaken. It's a rock. Oh, I totally forget. That ruin is now royal. One second. Deals unaspected damage with a potency of 240 as opposed to 180. So Ruin 2 can be cast instantaneously. There is no cast timer, but now this does more damage than this does. It used to be I did Ruin 2 just because it is so much more efficient in earlier dungeons to just run around. But giving yourself a tiny bit of a cast timer does appear to be a good thing. You pick up the outer keystone. Now it does enough damage to offset the cast timer, whereas before it kind of didn't. The difference in damage was so minimal that you might as well have given yourself an instant cast timer, even if it used more MP. Because you can get MP back as a scholar super quickly. Just do one lucid dreaming when you're halfway down and you'd never run out. Has your search for keystones borne fruit? Unless you're playing with people who don't understand to stay out of yellow puddles, you'll probably be fine. Yes, yes, there can be no mistaking these runes. Oh, I have it. I have it. Oh, that was a pitched battle, I tell you. The keystone was in the clutches of an Urganite, and an ill-tempered one at that. That explains the distinctive odor, but the runes leave no doubt. Thank you, Alkazolka. It was the least I could do. I trust you can seal away the worst stricken of the Nimians now? It is not so simple, I fear. The enchantment will fail without the 3 keystones. 2 on the outside, and another at the center. I lack the grand keystone, and the knowledge to locate it. While I search, pray focus on your studies. I have a suspicion that what trials await will try you very sorely as a scholar. Alright. Next Scholar Quest at level 52, which we're all ready to just continue through with the whole thing. Quarantine. We've divined the location of the Grand Keystone, my friend. It lies in the ruins to the east. The credit for the find truly lies with Alkazolka. His knowledge of Nim is impressive. It was not too long into our discussion of the stone's whereabouts that we're able to piece together where it must be. As you can imagine, he could not contain his curiosity. Even now, he is combing through the ruins. Please see that he comes to no harm. We often like guardians to watch our most precious assets. I told Alkazolka this, but he firmly believes the enchantments have worn thin. I am less sure. Be careful when you take the Grand Keystone. Perhaps I fear for nothing, and Alkazolka has already found the Grand Keystone. But the magics that the power the Guardians remain. He may still be in danger. Okay, camp. It does... Yeah, that is where I am. It's just on the opposite side of the arena. I was gonna warp, and I'm like, wait a sec. That's right here. I know where that is. Bren, you've arrived in time. I believe our prize is just yonder, and I trust Cerrito Carrito mentioned the Guardians? I have my doubts they still guard over the prize, but better safe than sorry. Should any awaken to our presence, we will reduce them to rubble. Literally. What'd you say? Let us take the Grand Keystone and be done with it. Yeah, I'm level 66. I've really been playing quite a bit of Scholar. I use this class a lot when I'm farming for elegant tomestones, as you can tell by my outfit. This is the healer maximum outfit in Heavensward. Or should I say 270 gear. I think 270 is the highest you can get for gear in Heavensward. Keep your wits about you, Bren. He got tiny horns. He got kid ears. A guardian. Well, we have dug up much of Nim's past. Mayhap it's time we put a piece of it to rest. But it's supposed to be dead. Oops. Oh no, that was the right command. Actually, I should be getting this going. Get some aether flow going in here. Wait. Oh, because it synced me! Destroy the soul stone. I cannot move if you do. I'm trying. It's being finicky about what it's letting me click because he's too big for the field. I destroyed the soul stone. It's up to you now. Would you let me select the target? Would you let me select the target? Thank you. Okay, little dude, you're trying my patience. How come I cannot seem to keep you healed? Can you... You know, I was talking about non-NPCs when I said stay out of the freaking... Soul Crystal's back. Don't want to have to revive you. Let's also get him poisoned. It is no match for us. There we go. And it forces me to do it again. Yeah, my fairy's really not doing as much to heal as I wish she would. No offense, my dear. Also, why does most of the damage seem to be coming from me? We have it, Bren! We have it! Duty complete. Ah, what a team we make! No foe can stand against Scholar and Marauder. It's almost like there's a reason I play the two classes. The Grand Keystone is ours. Cerrito will no doubt be happy to get his hands on it. Technically, even in Final Fantasy XI, it lets you pick two classes. Your starter class, and then a secondary class. Wonder if it still does. Or if people are just gonna look at me funny. For those curious, I started as a red mage, and then I progressed it into summoner. since it felt like a natural evolution, while letting me retain some control over all aspects since I like to try and play alone.
You are safe, thanks the gods. And the Grand Keystone?
Which back then was a lot harder than it was in 14, let me tell you. One of the keystones used to seal the Wanderer's Palace. You had to literally kneel and pray in order to regain HP, so there was a lot of hiding in corners. One battle at a time.
Well done, you two. With this, I can cast a sealing enchantment over those of my people suffering most. I'm full glad to hear it. Soon the worst afflicted will be at peace once more, safely segregated from the others. But this is only the first step. I'll need to learn the cause of the sickness before seeing my people cured.
You're not alone in this, Sarito Kirito. We three shall see an end to this blight.
Thank you, Alkazoka, Ren. I'm proud to have you both on my side. It's time that you learned a new spell for giving succor to your comrades in arms. Indomitability. Once, it was the sole providence of high-ranking scholars. May it serve you well henceforth.
Let's see. Restores own HP and the HP of all nearby party members. Cure potency 400, but it does use the Aether gauge, so I only get 3 at a time. You uncover further knowledge of Nimian military tactics. So I do get an AoE heal, finally. The downside is that it is multi-hit only, so... yeah, it's back here. What's this? Chain Stragetum. Increases the rate at which the target takes critical hits by 10%. Oh, it's used against an enemy. It's a level 66 move, though. So I won't be able to use it in most content until the next expansion. I can use it on the field. I can't use it in dungeons for a long time, so... I might actually change their positions. Indomitability. Is there anything in here that I'm not really using as much? I don't really have Scholar built up to be multi-hit versus not. Grants, this is 62. The effect of Excognition, restoring HP when a member falls before 60 or below. You know, I might move this one and replace it, since that's level 62, and clearly I can't use it yet anyway. Anything that is, like, in the super 60s, I should save for the next grid, since I need to be dungeon focused on my current grid. I also had Ruin 1 on here just in case I needed to swap over for, like, level 10 dungeons. Early Sastasha and all that. False friends.
I have worked day and night on the cure, yet I have little to show for it. My research is at a standstill for lack of information.
I feared as much. If ever man had knowledge of the sickness, it was lost long before his age. Even after careful study of Nimian texts, tablets, I still know little more than what you have told me, that it came from the sea. I don't think it did.
From traders who returned from the southern seas, yes. They had lost their mainmast in a fearsome tempest and drifted, victims of the current. At last they ran aground on a desert isle. Half dead, they stumbled ashore, and would have perished but for the Lalafellan tribe that lived there. These natives nursed the traders back to health and helped them mend their ship. They even sent our men home with an amphora etched with ornate designs, a gift of friendship. In Nim, we had given them the rights due to those lost at sea. When they sailed into a port a year after they had left, you can imagine how joyful the mood was. Yet their joy soon turned to horror. The traders began to grow ill, for the sickness was upon them. They transformed, and the rest you know.
The story suggests the traders contracted the disease on the isle. The voyage home must have been... Hold on. The traders were hale and hearty when they returned to Nim. Yes, the sickness became known only after they reached port.
You mean to suggest it was not the men who bore the disease? Then who, or what? Something they carried? Perhaps something like the islander's gift?
That does seem more likely the culprit. But without the amphora, This is all conjecture, and I would be astonished if even a shred remains after 1,500 years.
As would I. It was placed on display in the royal halls for all to see. If only I had considered it a possible source.
The royal halls. I know exactly where those used to be. Precious little remains of them, but I will scour the area. And if Bren joins me, perhaps we'll be lucky. Yeah, I forget which... One sec. I need my map. Yeah, I forget where it initially came from, but it was either from Thanland to Lenosha or almost like a tribe that was here that spread. I remember that.
The amphora was kept in the royal halls, which Alcazolka can pinpoint in the floating city. Unlikely though it may be, perhaps a piece of it remains.
Yeah, I was in the War of Magic. All the different factions of magic were going at it with each other. Almost completely draining the world of Aether and giving these people a 1,000-year-long curse in the process. You see no sign of the South Seas amphora. But you did find another one of these! Why is it not letting me attack? Thank you. Honestly, I can just take this. Bro, you missed the whole fight. I hope we've not come on a fool's errand, but I see nothing to persuade me otherwise. Mayhap if you searched over there.
Excuse me, kitty.
Oops. Didn't mean to share cast. Well, we get one free quick spell. We no longer have one free quick spell. It's so awkward standing here next to the big cat. Get another hostile presence, though. Yeah, the reason I can leave Broil on my grid, though, is because it's an update of Ruin 1. So if I'm in a lower level area, it'll automatically change back to Ruin 1.
Kitty.
Big scaled kitty. You spot something half covered with soil, several yalms below you. Is it okay to touch this? You know, hindsight, should I be handling this if it diseased an entire nation? Protective gear, maybe? Oh, it's a pot.
Poison.
I aggroed the sprite, but it's fine. It's like 20 levels below us here. Nope, still gotta examine this. You dig out an empty amphora from the soil where it lies. It just wants me to warp anyway. Whee!
I beg your pardon. You found it? Intact? What the heck is it made out of?
As empty as the day it was made.
Incredible. I remember this as though it were yesterday. This is the self-same amphora.
Then it truly is an honest-to-God's miracle. Though it occurs to me now that we should handle it with a bit more care, assuming it can, turn us into tonberries. Yeah, I gave the exact same concern.
Void scent. Is that what attempted to stop you from taking the amphora? Void scent are drawn to the magics of their own kind, which means a void scent of some strength was likely sealed herein. Yes, here. A binding sigil cut into the bottom. Dear gods, it cannot be. This is the work of Mahak.
Mahak, beware the dark. Keep away or lose your heart. That, Mahak?
An apt rhyme doubtless inherited from Nim. Mahak was our enemy. Rapacious and unwise. Their magi trafficked with the void, grew mighty from shadows, and attacked our lands time and again. Look no further than this. Their sigil which sealed a void scent in this gift. The islanders must have been their pawns in a plot to bring us to our knees. We were fools. Not once did we consider that everything, from the Tempest to our traders' miraculous return, might be a void mage ploy. I must return to my tomes. Pray allow me time to research this, and please, tell me if you begin to transform.
Okay, what do we get? Broil? Deals unaspected damage at the potency of 220. And Broil Mastery. Upgrades Ruin to Broil and increases the potency of Ruin 2. And Art of War to 165. But I already upgraded one to Broil. That's so weird. Do I get it twice, depending on whether it's from levels or not? Yeah, upgrades Ruin to Broil. Which I've done. I think it's because mine is currently Broil 2 already. And the potency of Ruin 2 to 160, so even Ruin 2 gets a boost. And Art of War to 165. You uncover further knowledge of Nimian tactics. Technically learned Broil for slightly higher dungeons. Oops. Nope. Okay, because this is Broil 2. So, since I'm on the field currently, it'll be Broil 2, which I guessed I obtained just by reaching level 64 in general. But if I'm in a Heavensward dungeon, it will now be Broil 1 instead of Ruin, is what I can gather from that. And this is also now, I think, slightly more powerful. What was Art of War? Was that the multi-hit? Yeah, it was. So this one I think does slightly more damage now too. Which would help. Let me just look at this. Yeah, Ruin 2. Upgrades. I see. So I got one Art of War upgrade. In Broil, I got... Oops. It is. It goes Ruin, Broil, Broil 2. Eventually 3, and then 4.
Okie dokie.
So it has upgrades after all. Ooh rah. Ooh rah rah. Your time away is not lightens Sukarito Carito's mood. I didn't go that far. I just needed to read the menu.
Thank you for joining me. I gather your noses have not shrunk. And your ears?
I don't have ears.
Good, then you are safe. I think the void scent inside the amphora summoned its kind to distract you while it fled. Magically concealed. Traces of enchantment remains, but nothing else. There were no signs of toxin or miasma in the amphora. The corpses of the creatures you slew were likewise freed of disease.
What? Does that mean that our inevitable void scent is indeed what spread the sickness through Nim?
That is what I've come to believe. As to why it fled, I can only suppose the long years bound within the vase robbed it of the strength to oppose you.
But surely it can regain that strength. My gods, if it does, the entire realm is at terrible risk.
It does pose a risk, but this is also an opportunity. If we can track it down and lay it low, the corpse may lead us to a cure.
This is why biowarfare, especially in the modern era, is so foolish. Because we're so interconnected as a people nowadays that this is why I can't take anybody seriously when they propose the idea, because it's going to hit everyone. It spreads globally now. It's never just going to be isolated. Just like this Void Scent, now that it's out, it can be years later, and it's still affecting people across the globe that have nothing to do with your previous conflict. There's truth in that. Come on, Bren, let us pursue the Void Scent forthwith.
A moment, Alcazolka. It'll require all my skill to track the Void Scent, and time besides. Moreover, you cannot afford to be defeated once I've found it. As such, I've requested the aid of an old companion. Realm's gone to shite if those sorry specimens are all the Royal Marines have got left. But they'll march like proper soldiers when I'm done, or my name isn't Helga Tolga.
Sergeant Tolga? Bren, do you understand who this is? Before us stands the greatest drill instructor of the Nimian military. Come, we have much and more to learn. I take it he was in the textbooks. Also, so long as you can clear the disease from taking your mind, wouldn't it be better to remain as a Tonberry if it grants you, you know, immortality?
Helga will demand much of you, and subject you to seemingly unreasonable tasks. Know that he does this solely for your benefit.
Sure. It's stupid to propose giving just some people immunity too. Because especially with disease, it mutates so much once it's out in the field that there's no point. You've given yourself immunity to a strain, but it will mutate. Anyone who's actually familiar with disease knows this. And knows that's why it's so foolish to mess with. No hardship too great. I will become a marauder worthy of Nimian military.
Think you've got what it takes to be a Royal Marine? You make me laugh. Ever worn glasses in the battle, boy? Expect your foe to wait while you wipe blood from your lenses, do you?
Well, I can't see otherwise, little dude.
And the scholar. Had a lot like you in war. More use dead than alive. Having the corpses piled high around us kept us safer than the damned magics ever did. You're a bloody joke. But I'm here to turn you into Royal Marines, and Royal Marines you will be. First the creed. To victory comes hells or high water. Come on, let me hear you.
With chat mode and say, come hells or high water. No hardship too great. I'll become a marauder worthy of Nimian military. Okay, I gotta change it to say, come hells or high water.
To victory, come hells or high water. How do you expect to strike fear into your enemies whispering like that? Open your gobs and say it like I mean it.
With say mode in your keyboard, say it again.
To victory, come hells or high water, sir. Well, you show spirit, I'll give you that. Now, to your tasks. First, the scholar. There's a band of Malmulja sellswords that have been eyeing our palace. Walk up to them with a great stupid grin and laugh in the leader's face. The horse sons will hurl everything they've got at you for that. Acquit yourself and equip yourself well and you pass. Now go.
Okay, over here. Yeah, I think Ruin 2 has become Scholar's equivalent to Skaith now that we have better spells. But before that, it was weak enough damage from both. I think it was like 10 points of difference that it really didn't matter. The 10 points of difference plus the cast timer actually made Ruin 2 the better option to just fling around. You talk to Mamulja? No? Then who you talk to? I need to just make sure it stays on him. Why you laugh? You think Mamulja funny? No, you're funny. I laugh, see? Ha ha ha! You die now. No, you would die now. Everybody tango. Okay. Report back. Hey, I finished your task like a psycho. Where are you? Further.
I've done many and more strange things in pursuit of my goals, but massaging a man with salamander oil is the strangest yet.
Oh, first time?
Huh, you're both still alive. Not half bad. But any real Marine could have done it twice as fast. You are truly the sorriest excuse of a unit I've ever seen. With all due respect, sir, the tasks you gave us were... I mean, what was I supposed to achieve by massaging that man with salamander oil? You bloody fool. If you gotta ask, then you clearly learned nothing. And you, scholar, are you gonna tell me you don't know why you had to fight without a protector? Chaos reigns on the battlefield, but Marines around you are all you got, and they will die for your failings. Marines, scholars, everyone has to do what it takes to survive, to be all they can be. Until you understand that, you're not fit to face even the weakest void set. That's all for today. Get back to training. You're dismissed.
Sir, yes, sir. I've been a fool, Bren. I'll do as he says. To victory, come hills or high water. Maybe it's to foster obedience, or to make it so you no longer have a gag reflex in the battlefield? Deployment tactics. Extends Gallivantize effect cast on self or target party member to other nearby party members. Duration. Time remaining on original effect. No effect when target is not under the effect of Galvanize. Okay. So maybe it automatically... I don't know if I have to do it twice, like if they already need Galvanize or not. No effect when target is not under the effect of Galvanize. So maybe casting it twice, which I do frequently have to do depending on the polls. Pride for the Royal Marines fills your heart. I guess I'll have to mess with that one and see. Because if it does it in the first go, I don't really see what the point of Succor is anymore. Which is my AoE shield to the party. But if Galvanize now creates a better AoE shield, it kind of begs the question, you know? Unseen.
How goes the training, friends? As Bren's comrade-at-arms, it's clear that their powers with the scholarly arts has increased immeasurably thanks to Sergeant Tolkien's advice. Alas, the same cannot be said for me. I had already thought myself a master of Nemean techniques, frankly, based on what I had gleaned from the tablets we uncovered, but the sergeant's training was robbed me of that notion. I'm still a novice. Until Sergeant Toka says I am worthy, I will continue training. Your ambition does you well, Alkazoka. Stay true to this path, and you'll become as fine a Marine as ever marched under our banner. Well, I suppose I have no choice but to ask you to do the work of two, Bren. I've tried every method known to me in finding our missing void set, but without success. It seems Nemean magics will not suffice. That comes as little surprise. This void set was in Mahak's thrall, and likely chosen for the ability to circumvent Nemean wards. Yes, well, it's why I hope your academics have answers I do not. Have you any writings on void set? I believe the Thaumaturge's Guild in Undar has a collection dating back centuries, including some authorized by the Beladian forefathers. Beladian? Not Mahaki? Perhaps they were the heirs to the Void Mage's legacy. In any case, the old seems worth a visit. Will you go in my stead?
That's the thing about empires, they always crumble eventually. I suggest you seek out Yayake. She is an old friend whose love of ancient tomes rivals my own. I wish I could see her in person, but I must continue my training, as well as look after the new recruits. 1, 2, 3. To victory, Bren. Come hell's a high water. Getting trained by the Tonberry now.
It's good to see Helga active again.
To Thanalan! To Thaumaturgy once more.
Our own avatar of devastation. To what do we owe the pleasure?
She probably says that because she's used to me being a thaumaturge.
Alka? Alka Zolka? That is not a name I expected to hear, but I'm glad my fellow book lover is well. I've indeed read of Voidsent able to perfectly conceal their form. There was a tome on the subject. Unseen was the title, penned from the 5th Astral Era. Unfortunately, it's no longer a part of our collection. A member of the guild borrowed it for his research expedition, a project which was to last some few moons. However, that was 5 years ago, and he has not been heard from since. A pity. He proposed the most fascinating theories on Voidsent, and traveled to the western highlands of Kurthus to put them to proof. Alas, that area was rendered inhospitable by the calamity.
Why did you even let him take the book then? Why didn't you just pen out the parts that he needed so that you could keep the book in your library and then send him off with a copy of the text?
There is a chance, of course, that the man is alive and the book unharmed. We traced his journey as far as Falcon's Nest. Mayhap someone there can point you towards where he ventured next.
Of course it's in Kurthus. Gotta have an excuse to go to the new area. Oh, you get wings? You get actual wings? Hey, wait a minute. Wasn't that my idea for, like, introducing Aerie as a potential race, but now that we have actual wings, what's the difference? They even have red feathers. I think that's what they were called in Final Fantasy XII. How now, adventurer? On the trail of a researcher who visited 5 years ago? That's not much to go on. The garrison was still stationed here in those days. Sobine is in charge of organizing the records. If anyone here knew of your researcher, it'd be her. Guessing inside. Whoa. Someone on the same quest as me, huh? Maybe? Something?
Hello. How might I help you? A man's researching Voidsent? Yes, that is where he was mentioned? Ah, right. He stayed here for a time before taking the North Star downriver, which was one among many sunk by that fearsome primal's rampage during the calamity. The lucky few who made it to shore were then eaten by Vilekin? Well, the boat ran aground and hasn't moved since the river froze over. You may wish to search the wreck yourself, though do be careful of the local wildlife. When has the river not been frozen over? I thought you were going to search the Northern Stars in the Kurthus River.
Yeah, maybe they had a quest that was, like, right there. Alabathia's Spire really quickly. I want to see something. If it's any closer at all. Ooh, which way does it come out? Oop, nope, not there. I wish it better told us adjoining area. Oh, here, I bet. Really? Not how I imagined that to be. I was just trying to see if a way is faster. It might be. But it's so open that doesn't really make a difference. This one really needs 2 crystals. I know I keep saying that, but that's because it's true! I knew it! I have no idea how I'm going to get down. Should have thought about that before you came up here. No? Pray? I don't know about this one. What action would it even need? Can I target them? It doesn't appear I can. Let's see. We are in, I think, Western Kurthus. Western Highlands, yeah. Not Aether Currents. Sightseeing statue. On the arm of the statue, with a pike, the guy wondering to get down. Rally! The Vista Record, the Pike, a monumental stone sculpture carved in the likeness of Haldreth, the first Azure Dragoon. The stonemason Purcell devoted 30 of her later years chiseling the piece, and has stood for more than 150 years, even today. One cannot find a more stirring tribute to one of Ishgard's founding fathers. You say anything new now? Perhaps not. Anyway, I knew that could potentially be one. The moment I started to fly too close to it, I'm like, wait a minute. Might as well keep an eye out for potential points, you know? Especially since these videos tend to be slightly shorter than average. Don't mind me just looking for stuff. Stuff that might be important. Is there any around here? Bean pool. Oh, you meant a ship? I was thinking a little tiny canoe boat. Is there really not one on here? I see the destination. I just feel this would be a lookout point. Rime-bound crate. And you look more like something out of Dragon Quest. Not Dragon Quest, Monster Hunter. I'm so dumb. My brain did not follow my commands today. Can you focus on the monster, please? Thank you. Why is it not letting me? Thank you. Not sure why it's being so pissy about what it's letting me target. I'm not pressing anything else, so why? Deliver the sack of Void Scholar's effects to Cerrito Carito.
Have you found anything to aid our cause?
Items believed to be carried on the person of the Void Scholar gone missing 5 summers past.
These things have seen better days. Oh, but here's the book, and the writing is still legible. It'll take time and patience, but I'm hopeful its secrets will allow us to snare our inevitable void scent.
Do mine ears deceive me, or did you track down a book? Splendid! As for me, I would like to think I've improved by leaps and bounds, thanks to Sergeant Tolka. The recruits are coming along nicely as well. With a bit more training, every individual in our unit will be able to ready to face our void-sent foe in battle.
Very good. Then let us all attend to our tasks. The day of reckoning will be upon us soon enough.
Meaning if we weren't here to take up this task, something would eventually destroy Limsa. Transforms the next Galavize and Catalyst statuses into HP recovery. Emergency tactics. Recovery equaling the amount of damage reduction intended for the barrier. Into HP recovery. I'm not quite sure I understand this one yet. Statuses into HP recovery, equaling the amount of damage reduction intended for the barrier. So maybe you can cast a barrier and have it turned into? I'm so confused on that one. That one feels a little off. Is it its own slot? Yeah, appears to be. Same with these. Oh, extends Galavize on target member to affect other target prime members. So you need to actually use it. It's an instant cast, but I see. It's one of those once in a rare while casts. I thought it was going to do this automatically, but no, it's a button. That changes things a bit. As well as transforms Galvanize and Catalyze statuses into HP recovery. So instead of it going into a shield that eventually... My bird is drowning. My bird is drowning. Instead of it going into a barrier, it's just automatic HP if you click this first. Maybe. Alright, last one. Forward the Royal Marines.
I have it, Bren. The means to track our inevitable void scent. The time has come to discuss our attack.
I've been waiting for this day. What's the plan, Cerrito Carrito? Oh, I thought it was the bigger dude saying it. What's the plan, Cerrito Carrito?
First, we'll need to track our quarry. I believe he's been feeding upon the aether of local creatures to regain its strength. The way in which it feeds leaves behind unique etherical traces. A breadcrumb marks the path of a hungry child. This trail will lead us straight to the void scent.
How are we to detect the traces?
With Lily's aid, she can sense where the void scent has left aether undevoured. We will begin our search where you unearth the amphora and follow where Lily leads. Once she senses the void scent is near, we will force it to show itself. Lily will illuminate the area, and her light will dispel the magics concealing it. Right, my dear? With the void scent visible, we will attack with all our might. The Marines will charge and kill it before it causes more damage.
But if we kill it, there's a chance that you may lose your cure. This is it, Bren. Our chance to prove the might of our core. Little one, the fate of the realm is in your hands. Are you ready?
Then our course is clear. May the plan ensure the sickness never again claims a victim.
To victory, come hells or high water. At first there was a second for loading, so I thought I was going to get held back for a second to tell me something.
Quickly, my friend, to where you found the amphora.
That's in the next zone. Yeah, I could put... repose here instead. Wonder if that automatically changes it. No, it does not. And then we can put... Where'd it go? Oops, not that. That was my chocobo, wasn't it? No? Oh gosh, I wish there was an undo button. That was not my chocobo. That was probably Surecast. Probably. Maybe. Okay, so that puts that on this grid. Izuna there. Normal stuff there. You know, I might put summoning Eos on the third grid instead. Just because I don't need it right away. So we can potentially put this here instead. Maybe make this easier to access. Let's put summoning. Then over like here. I don't think I have limit break anywhere either, so that might be a good idea. Just a thought. Just in case eventually I know LB3 for healers is going to be a thing. Just because you tend to summon the fairy and then the fairy stays. So it's one quick boop in the dungeon and then she lasts unless you die. Then you gotta resummon, but... Where could it have gone? Did the pot move? Through the etherical traces remains from devoured play, your fairy senses the void scent is moving towards Zelma's Run. Which is... Oh, that's down here. Is it one of our Tonberries? Did the void scent possess one of the Tonberries? Void scents usually do need to possess something in order to have enough aether to sustain themselves. Not trying to point fingers, old dude, just, you know, biology of magic creatures. Through the etherical traces remaining from devoured prey, your fairy senses void scent is moving towards Camp's Bronze Lake. Which is a bad sign, because there's people there. Where's it, Bren? But that way lies Camp Bronze Lake. What purpose could it have there? The healing waters? No, I suppose it's home to... Of course, the wounded Maelstrom soldiers. It means to spread the sickness anew through them. We must stop it, quickly to camp. Come all the way up to come all the way back down. Hopefully it moves slow. Right where? Here. Gods damn it, this place is bloody crowded. If we don't find the void scent quickly, there's gonna be a lot more Tonberries. How do we draw out it into the open if we can't even see it?
Get the soldiers to evacuate. Bren, find the void sent with Lily's light.
But wouldn't it try to evacuate with them? Alright.
Only you can track the void scent.
Okay, traces detected. Can I talk? Here's one.
It's a goop.
Etherical pudding pie. Does it leave anything behind that I need? Nope. It didn't update my etherical trace though. Maybe that's not a correct one. It's only certain colors? Oh, some are real and some aren't. Maybe it's the green ones only. Yeah, it's the green ones. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Won't let me. Maybe it doesn't matter either? I don't know. Won't let me jump or fly. Maybe the other ones won't appear until I get rid of these. Okay, she's talking to them. There's one. It's a yellow. There's a green. Need one more green. Headphone fell out. Where is it? Gotta love when something falls and disappears. There's a red. Red. Boundary ends here. Maybe it's underneath. Oops. It is underneath. Void Scent Discarnate.
What is this strange light? Is that it? Quick, after it.
I'm stuck in the wine, my dude.
Bren.
Well, that's different.
At long last.
Oh, it's a monster.
For Limsa, for the Tomberries, and for glory. Attack!
Sorry to all the people who were bathing. To victory, to Hells or high water. Guess we didn't do that good a job at evacuating people, did we? Bitoso? Oh, does she have a... Yeah, they have a weird plague status. I don't recognize it. Wonder if they come Tonberries, if that ends up going off. What's it called? Void Blood. Damage is taken increased. Okay, so it's not an instant fail. That's good to know. Little tiny slugs. I think it's normally meant to affect all of them. But it's standing perfectly in just such a way that's avoiding hitting the one dude at all. Not that. The people will face Nim's tragedy.
Oh, the Tomberries! Tomberries are coming to save us!
This one's the... gradually restores HP. Let's do a little bit of a reset here. Yeah, I can't hardly kill them fast enough. Oh wait, that's probably the Tomberry curse, isn't it? No, I didn't get to look at it. Is it? Get back! It's trying to infect us.
No! Now, Bren!
Use Super Asuna. Oh, we're victorious. I love their little pitter-patters.
Yes, when I think on the horror I visited upon my people,
It visited on my people, excuse me.
the horror it visited upon my people. But now, no one else will share our fate. Many thanks to you and Alcazolka both.
Yeah, because now that it's gone, I probably can't study it.
Ah, you've got my gratitude as well. Good to see proper Royal Marines at it again. Indeed it is. Today the torch is passed to you. May the Royal Marines evermore defend the people.
But what about you? An honor fighting beside you. If you ever are in need of us, you need only ask.
You have won a great victory today, my friend. Your allies will appreciate it if you tell them so.
Ain't common feeling that safe in battle. I reckon those Nimians knew what they were doing. With them scholars and fairies, I'll have your back too if you ever need it.
Bloody Tonberry eyes, always running with, who am I kidding? You did a fine job indeed. But don't dare think of easing up on your training on account of one victory. If you sully the name of my beloved Marines, I'll flay the skin off your back.
Imagine, Bren, defeating a Voidsent over 1,500 years old. When we first met, I didn't dare think we'd achieve such things together. The threat is gone, and the Royal Marines are born anew. Not a bad day's work, I dare say. But we are far from finished. I do not know what threats the future holds, but they will not find us unprepared. Not as long as I have aught to say about it. To victory, my friend, come hell's high water.
I've gathered the Voidsent remains. With careful research, they should yield the secrets I need to heal my people. I'm not so naive as to believe the answers will come quickly, yet the cure shall be ours one day.
Oh, so there are remains. Well, You've been here 1,500 years.
For now, my people will labor so that we may walk with yours towards a brighter dawn. I would see a future where we part from the realm, not shunned by it.
A part of the realm, excuse me.
Thank you, my friend. Lily chose most wisely in you. Allow me to pass on one of Nim's mightiest abilities, Dissipation. It's a secret spell meant for use only by the scholars who've earned a full trust of their fairy companions. Use it with care. Now I must return to my people, and you to yours. Fare you well, and may our efforts make tomorrow a brighter day.
Okay, so we get the Savant's attire, and Dissipation orders your fairy away while granting you a full Aether Flow stack. Also increases healing magic potency by 20%. Current fairy will return once the effect expires. Summon EOS cannot be executed while under the effect of Dissipation. Can only be executed while the fairy is still summoned and you are in combat. Okay, so she's a regen ability, so technically it takes away regen for a bit to give me a full Aether stack. And increases healing magic potency by 20%. So that's if some people are like really, really dying and you're like, oh, the regen isn't enough, I need like a super boost. But anyway, quest complete. Pride for the Royal Marines fills your heart. This concludes the Scholar quest for Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward. In order to undertake the next quests, you must finish the post-story of Heavensward. Once you've done so, the next Scholar quest will be available from Alcazolka. With flying colors. Probably because all the different magic colors in the Magi War. But yeah, there we go. All done here. I wonder if our little Tonberry friend is still over there. I can check. Because sometimes the characters still have something to say to me afterwards. If they're still present. Nope, he's wandered off. He, she, they. But yeah, the old... before people were Tonberry's kingdom. So for now, this is where I am going to call it. So thank you so much to everyone who has joined. I might do some of these offline and some as streams. It really depends on what's going on in my personal life. But I hope to see you all in future videos. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of said videos. I need to learn to get my outro cemented in my head. And I'll be signing off for now. Okay. Bye-bye.